Hey YouTube, I'm back with another video. Today I'm showcasing how I'm constructing this middle part blunt bob. The hair I'm using is from Press Beauty Bar in Suffolk, Virginia. I'm using a 10-inch bundle, a 12-inch bundle, and a 12-inch 5x5 HD lace closure. So first things first, we're going to get into bleaching these knots. I'm using a Paul Mitchell Synchro Lift Lightener and 40 Volume Developer. To mix, you want to add a little bit at a time and keep mixing until you get a pancake batter consistency. Once you reach that consistency that you're looking for, you're going to take that mixture and begin to place it all over the closure. Now that I've applied the bleach, I'm going to let that sit to the side and start working on the construction. I'm using a ventilated cap, and I'm just going to place that onto a 22-inch wig block, making sure that that middle part of the wig cap is lined up with that middle seam of the front of the wig block. Now I'm just taking some pins to secure the cap in place while I get ready to create my lines that I'm going to sew my tracks onto. I'm taking a metallic permanent marker and just starting to draw my lines. The number of lines that you're going to put on your cap is going to depend on A, the number of bundles that you're using, and B, how full you want the unit to be. Because the hair I'm using is 10 and 12 inches, I'm using more lines than I normally would just because shorter bundles tend to be fuller than longer bundles. At this point, the knots are now done processing. It took about 45 minutes for this closure to finish processing. I'm now going in and just rinsing out the bleach and getting ready to shampoo and condition it so that I can start the actual construction. First, I'm going in with some neutralizing shampoo to stop the chemical processing and to return the pH balance back to normal. Once I finish rinsing that out, I'm going to go in with some purple shampoo to tone the knots. To finalize this part, I'm going in with some conditioner to soften the knots and to move on to preparing the closure for construction. This is how the closure turned out after the bleaching and toning process. That HD lace really makes a difference when it comes to blending with all skin tones. Here I am going in just pinning the closure down to the wig block so that I can blow dry it to get it ready for construction. Now I'm going in with some ion heat protection spray and blow drying the closure. To get started on the construction, I have to find the middle part of the closure. To get the accurate middle part, you fold the closure in half and you find the middle point and you take a pin and stick it in the middle to show you exactly where you need to place it on the wig cap. Now that I found the middle part, I'm going to take that pin and stick it in the middle seam of the wig block. Now I'm just pinning down the other sides of the closure so that I can start sewing the closure onto the cap. In order to get the closure to lay flat, I'm stretching it just a little bit with the pin to make sure that it lays all the way down. Now I'm going in with a needle and thread and making a stitch all the way around the cap. This is the only part where I will be hand stitching. Now I'm moving on to machine stitching the tracks. I've already sewn a few tracks, but basically all I'm doing is laying those tracks onto those blue lines I created and using a straight stitch and just sewing all the way across. In the beginning, I backstitch a few times just to make sure that the track is secure. Throughout this process, you'll see me keep readjusting my hands several times. I'm doing this to make sure that the cap stays flat. If the cap is not flat while you're stitching, you will get bunches in your wig cap. Machine stitching is really easy. It does take some practice to get used to sewing on the machine, but honestly, it's the most efficient way to construct wigs. Here I am reaching the end of this track. I'm back stitching a few times just to get the track secured before I cut the strings. At this point, I have about 2 more tracks left to cover, and here is the final product. I've gotten both tracks secured around the closure. Now it's time to break the plastic. Once I get all this plastic ripped out, this is the end of the construction process. Stay tuned for part 2.